Today we'll be talking about Stewie2K's condition and my thoughts on Stewie2K. So, if you don't know who is Stewie2K, he's basically been playing pros in the Counter-Strike 2 scenes. Less of an introduction. I mean, you can see stickers of him floating around. You can see a bunch of Stewie2K profiles appearing in conversations, right? So this video is mainly about my thoughts on Stewie2K, and I think he has quite a number of problems which correlates to me, which is a gambling problem. I think this problem has been going on for ages, and I think once you have developed a gambling problem, this will happen. What I mean by that is that if you are in Stewie2K's situation and you have won 100 grand before, most likely you will be going back to the site itself because, well, you have won money, so you will want to win more money from the site itself. And as the time comes, and this odds is stacking against you, you will feel that you can win another 100 grand again. You might win another 100 grand again, but as time goes by and as you get used to the gambling environment, soon enough you will lose to the house. And it is quite easy to talk about this, but not a lot of people could stand in Stewie2K's shoes, which I can understand or I can relate. I think his gambling issue is not that bad, considering he's only been gambling $20,000 instead of gambling 100,000, right? I mean, you have seen people losing 100,000s of their net worth and they just go missing or something, right? He's not really that critical yet, but I do want to address that I do have some problem similar to Stewie2K, and I want to address this gambling issue in this industry. I think that gambling has been quite popular within the CS2 scene. I mean, you have like Bet1X2, you have all those Clash, you have Row, you have Empire, all popping out in those CS2 tournaments. Whatever tournaments you can see, Stick has appeared in boxing tournaments between Jake Paul and a lot of other influencers, and this have been a big promotion towards the gambling side, and it actually influences people to visit the site to gamble on sports as well as roulette and all those blackjacks, etc. So I think in my opinion, I think in Stewie's situation, he have been sponsored by this site called Skin Club, which I have mentioned in one of my videos, the Sparkles video, that Skin Club isn't a good site because they are doing very shady things. They have been not giving out coverts during the update. Like, they have stopped all their bots from giving coverts and they kept all coverts during the update for profits. So if you don't know, if you have visited Skin Club before, if you try to withdraw coverts, from the site itself, you couldn't do it. So if I search for Skin Club covert, you can see a bunch of comments talking about this. You see, just open the covert case on Skin Club, but not available for any reason at all. So you can tell, obviously, Skin Club is not a good site, and the reason Stewie2K promoted it is most likely because he has been sponsored by them and they have given him a ton of money. Because as a point of view, if you were given $5,000 to sponsor for a video, most likely you will do it because for the money and for gains, personal gains especially. So I don't think it's say that Stewie it's bad for taking a sponsor from Skin Club, because if you were given a chance to get a sponsor from Skin Club, you will probably do it as well. But I think taking gambling sponsors from these sites have a side effect, because you are making your viewers addicted to gambling and yourself as well. So you are just dipping a wormhole for you to climb inside and for your viewers as well. And if you calculate the odds for losing, right, it is quite a big sum. For example, if the house age is 5%, in the long term, it's gonna be 50% and soon 100%, right? let's just do a quick ChatGPT calculation, right? If I have $1,000 and the house age is 5%, how long or how many bets will it take for me to lose the whole $1,000? And just let ChatGPT to make the calculation, right? So in general, right, you will lose about $1,000 in every 20,000 bets. So this is just losing to the house age itself, but in general, you could lose the $1,000 in less than 20,000 bets. And the reason why is because, well, you are driven by emotions. If you win the first $100, you know, you will probably go off the site and just cash out. But if you lose $100, most likely you will be doubling your bets, or you would bet $50, right, to get back the $100. So this is what you call the psychological emotions of betting. And the betting that I showed you earlier, which is the 20,000 bets, it will take about 20,000 bets for every $1 you do. So if you were to do $1 for 20,000 times, you will lose all your bets in 20,000 bets. If it's a dollar, if you bet $10, it will take you 2,000 bets to lose your whole $1,000. Just imagine if you were to bet $100, it only takes you an average of 200 bets for you to lose your whole $1,000, and that is pretty scary because if you have a bankroll of $1,000, gambling $100 it is not that rare, and I think most people would do that. For you, it's just 10% of your $100,000 bankroll, but if you were to do the math, it will take you a quicker period to lose everything. So just bear in mind that gambling, it is a problem, and it is a problem in the US and in all parts of the world because they have been promoting it everywhere ever since, and companies do take sponsors if they are getting paid. Gambling companies hire staff to work for them, and your house age technically goes to the staff. So you shouldn't be blaming on why those ages is against you, because nobody is gonna sit on the table to take your cards and to do calculation for you, to place bets for you, to distribute cards to you. Nobody is gonna do that. So in general, I think Stewie2K's situation is not that bad, considering he is being sponsored and he has some kind of relationship with these gambling sites. But I want to address the normal people like us. We do have an issue because we are not getting sponsored and we are using raw balance for our gambling activity. So do keep in mind that this is a very dangerous issue. If you don't have a job and you are living with your parents, this is quite dangerous, because once you have run out of funds, you will just harm your family members and ask them for more. If you are living alone, that's even worse, because you couldn't pay rent and you will get kicked out of the house really soon. So that is the problem why you have seen a lot of videos, talking about rents, gambling my rents, rent is due, what should I do, and all sorts of YouTube videos that you can see out there. People are struggling with these problems, and this is quite a big issue because they do not know about the meaning of investment. If you do not have an investment portfolio, right, $1,000 to you is a lot. If you have an investment portfolio and it's growing 5% per year, and $1,000 is probably nothing to you because your portfolio is growing, and you can have some funds to, for leisure activities like gambling. So I would say it is important to have an investment portfolio for yourself, regardless it's in CS, stocks, or whatever investment that you have. and the investment portfolio shouldn't be touched in any case. But this video isn't about telling you what you should do, but it's more towards ways that could prevent you from gambling. So I have been gambling myself recently, and sadly to say, it was a game show that I used to play, which is Funky Time, as well as your Crazy Time, or those game shows that you used to play. I played Lightning Storm, and I have lost. Usually, every time I lose $60, right, I would be going $90 on blackjack. And if I lose $90 on blackjack, I would deposit another $200, right? And then $400, $800, $1,600. And usually I would profit when I'm reaching the $800 mark, and I would cash out and win about $200, and it stacks over time. So previously I have won about $1,000 in one of the websites, but unfortunately to say, just today I have lost $3,000. So I'm negative $2,000 on my bankroll in my gambling activities. For me, $2,000 isn't a lot, because I could make back in a month by just working a side hustle or something, right? But to a normal people who doesn't have a job, it is a big problem. So I would say I want to share a bit on what you should do if you have a gambling problem, even in CS or real life. And one of the ways you could do is you could actually go to your desktop. Let me just go through how you can actually prevent yourself from using any gambling site. So what you can do, you can either ChatGPT to find this out, or you can come and listen with me. So what you need to do first is to go to your C drive over here. You have other drive, but you should have a C drive. Your C drive, meaning even if you have connected your PC from one stage to another stage, you should have your C drive. Go to your C drive, go to your Windows, and then once you're in your Windows, you can search up for System 32. And once you are in your System 32, you can click on your drivers. There's a few drivers over here. You just have to click on the small letter drivers, and inside your drivers you have etc. If you couldn't find what is your etc, you can just click on one of them, then click on the letter. So if you click on letter E, you can find out a bunch of E's, you know, and then you should be able to find out your etc. Click into etc, and you'll see a bunch of files. You can see there's an iCalendar file or normal file. You should be clicking your host file, but you couldn't open your admin over here, or if you cannot open from administration over here, you would have to open it from your task manager. So what I would recommend you to do is you can click onto this link, click on copy, go to your task manager, just right click to your bottom of the screen, and then right click, and then click on task manager, click on run new task, enter the link, and then remember to put a /host with an S, and then you couldn't open it this way, but you have to put a notepad at the front to tell them to open from a notepad. Then you can click on create this task with admin privileges, click on OK. So basically, once you are here, you should see a file looking like this, right? You just have to copy this right over here, right? And then you can remove the hashtag, and then make sure that you just delete the local host, put 3 spaces, and then you can enter the site you want to block. So let's just say I want to block csgorow.com, www.csgorow.com, and then click on save. Now you shouldn't be able to visit csgorow.com since it's blocked, and this is how you can block a website from accessing. For mobile wise, basically you have to download a thing called the block site, enable the functionality for block site in your Play Store, then you should be able to block yourself from using the website from there. It's more towards an app usage. If you are not sure the whole process, you can always ChatGPT it, but this is what I'm trying to explain. This would definitely be a good help for you to stop gambling, because if you cannot access the site, most likely you shouldn't be able to gamble. It is definitely a good way for your very first step. And for those who have lost money, I think it is a normal thing. Money can always be made as long as you are alive. Just don't do anything silly, and always take care of yourself. Always think of your family members. If you have family, if you are the sole contributor in your family, you should probably be careful because your family depends on you. If you are just a soul, right, then you probably have more freedom. But you should care for your future as well because this is quite important. If you have an addiction, your future wouldn't look good. So I think the recent CS2 update has been making people go towards the gambling side because you can literally trade 5 coverts to a guaranteed profit, and people will be doing that. So I think you have to be careful in terms of the gambling aspect wise. As more coverts are used up, coverts will become more rare, and when coverts become more rare, gamblers will still be using coverts for trade ups. So I would say it is always a cheap for people to do trade ups in the future, and CS2 should be heading towards the gambling aspect of the site. And I believe if you have exchanged your coverts into knives, you should have some kind of gambling intention to go websites to gamble. So I would say be careful about this. And I think Stewie2K is one of the best examples that you should be careful of what you are doing. If it's not your money, you shouldn't be doing so. Regarding about taking loans, you should be careful of who you lend money from. If it's just from a casual friend, probably, but if it's a stranger, most likely you will be getting a lot of trouble because he could do something to harm you or your family members. So be careful of who you lend money from, and be careful who you interact with outside, because not everyone is friendly as you think. Friends who are close to you might not be the one that cares for you the most. Friends who doesn't care about you might be the one that actually cares about you. If you have boyfriend or girlfriend, that would mean your relationship is affected because you could be lending money from each other. So just bear in mind, if you cannot afford to gamble, or if you cannot afford the funds, don't do it. It is not worth it. In the long term, it will be an addiction and you would be spending more money to do it. The reason why I invested in coverts and my portfolio have been increased by $1,500, and the reason why I invested in that because I know this is coming. People will be doing covert trade ups and they will be losing money. Even if the return of investment is negative, they will still be doing it. They will probably be using coverts to trade up for knives. They will probably be using 4 battle scarred coverts and 1 battle scarred covert to exchange for something like a fate or a chance at a gamma doppler or whatever, right? They will use the worst coverts to do and trade up. So I think this will be the future for skins trading. More people, more kids will be fallen into the gambling category, and you have to be careful of who and what you do in your daily life. If you're too bored, just go for a run. It's not worth to just stare on the screen for the whole day. And I think it would be healthy to be going out and talking more towards your friends if you have an addiction, because they are your friends and your family members that could help you. If you're hiding something, your daily activity will not be healthy. If you speak it out, like what I'm doing right now, it will be much more healthy in the long term, because you have said something, you have been embarrassed by others, and you wouldn't want to do the same thing ever again. For me, it is a starting point because I have lost more in the past, but recently this thing have came to me again. So I would say I'm working towards in making myself better as well, and I'm looking for a change, which I think people in the society is willing to give you a people in the society is willing to give you a chance if you are willing to change. And I don't think that things are that bad if you are working hard in terms of improving your life. because if you are just sitting there and clicking buttons and hoping you could double your money from a website, it is not going to happen. It's not realistic, and I think you should be looking forwards towards your goals instead of chasing your losses. Whatever you have lost in the past, even you are still gambling today, it doesn't mean that you could double your chance to win something. It just means that you are more prone towards losing what you want to chase, and that is most gamblers, and that's what most gamblers do. They will chase until their bank account goes to zero, and they will seek help from family members, and things will go very south if you are going this path. So my suggestion for you is, if you have lost what you can afford to lose, you should be stopping, and you should get some help. I wouldn't say asking a stranger for help is useful, but talk to your family members. Go through some kind of I would say talk to your loved ones, explain to them what is your issue, and that would solve things better in the future. I hope everyone the best, and really stay safe out there. Do not be a target for casino owners. Know your limits, and that's it for me.